Well, welcome everybody to an edition of Who's on First. This is our latest edition now. We have a special guest, my brother, Pablo Rivera. Um, he's a unfortunate member of the I Love Baseball clan, and it's a love hate sometimes, and sometimes grueling, and sometimes really rewarding. Um, so Pablo, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am 41 years old, so that's a lot of baseball that I've seen so far. Um, I say the first thing I ever loved was baseball. I can say that that's the one thing that I can remember that it's always been with me no matter what. Um, Currently, I am a father of two beautiful girls. I'm a husband. I am in the food business. I chef, executive chef, kitchen manager, whatever you want to call me. I've done it all. Uh, but baseball is my happy place.
Okay. So
So,
what pulled you into baseball? What was that moment that you were like, this is the sport I want to play forever?
uh, you know, when I was young, I guess, naturally gifted at hitting and pitching because it was good. It came natural to me. It was something that I felt like I can just do. I didn't try hard. I just did it, and the results that I got from it, and I guess the people around me that were constantly encouraging me, and then I would meet new people who would see me play for the first time, and um, encouraging me, and they would tell me things that the grown men would tell me as a kid. They've never seen a curveball like that, or never seen a situation a kid got out of at that age. But when I was young, it was really competitive baseball. I was lucky that there was a lot of good baseball around me. So yeah, definitely when I was a young kid, I realized that that's when I wanted to play baseball, and that was it. Just because of the way people responded to the way I played, and um, it just came natural, super natural.
Okay. Did you ever feel your older brother was a little rough on you?
Yeah, but now that I think about it, it was just like it was just because there was gonna be better people out there. Just there's always someone better out there. So if they were older, you guys were tougher on me, but it was preparing me for the real world. At the time, it was just like one of those things where I knew that things weren't going to be easy. So if I wanted to be a good ball player, I was gonna have to deal with like learning how to deal with the next level. You know, you guys are a lot older than me at the time we were kids, so I learned fast. And I wanted to be on your level. I wanted to be on everybody's level that tried to play against me, whether it was a wiffle ball or punch balls, sponge ball, or in the game. I always wanted to be like I always took the competitiveness to that level. Like whoever brought it, I'm gonna take it to them and push it.
Yeah. I can't say that we of the three brothers, you probably are the best player, pitcher. You did the hot spot for a while. You were a pitcher, first baseman, better hitter. I
Hmm.
remember if it was it St. Mary's, you turned around
Yeah,
on me,
Sandlot.
Sandlot, and you
Yeah.
turned around and you said, if this guy throws that change up on that 1-2 count, I'm putting it over the second baseman. And I got to tell you, folks, that it was a 1-1 count, and the changeup came, and they got put over the second baseman, and you were standing there first going, and I was
Yeah.
like, wow. I said that was my wow moment for me. Um,
Yeah.
so explain to me baseball. Baseball. You're not a baseball player. You're not into baseball anymore. You umpired for a little bit, but baseball. I tell people all the time, baseball does something for everybody. It trains you for
Hmm.
something in life. So what does baseball train you for in life?
Well, uh, so my like just like real quickly for work, because I played baseball at a young age, I learned how to deal with other people very quickly. Like I knew that for me to be a winner on the field, it had to take more than just one person. So we had to work together as a team, and I started to learn how to play well with others, so to speak. Now, later in life, I run my own kitchens. I run my kitchens like I would, if I'm a captain on a baseball team. I literally get involved in everybody, let them know that I'm there to support them, but at the same time, encourage them when the times are tough, just like on a team. When we're trying to rally behind, an inning, you get up on the top step and you're cheering your teammate on and you're howling at them just to let them know, hey, I got you. You can do this. You can do this. In my career now, I'm constantly in my guy's face, encouraging them like, hey, you can do this, man. This is something that I expect you to do. You need to do this. We're only as strong as you are, and you're not that strong, we got to get you there. So, baseball has taught me that, but at the same time, winning and losing, the game itself has taught me how to win in life and how to deal with losing. And I've had fortunate opportunities to be in championship games where I've lost. I've also I've won plenty of championship games, but I've lost plenty as well. And learning how to lose at that level, whether it was high school or Sandlot, was important because when I got older, I knew that there were going to be disappointments in life. And when you walk away, your gut's telling you like, man, you did everything you can possibly do. What can you have done differently? You start thinking about those moments. It prepares you for life because there are moments you're gonna have in life that you wish you can get back, but you know that you're gonna have another opportunity.
Yeah.
You win some, you lose some.
Give me a great moment in baseball for you. Something that happened during a game, after a game.
It had nothing to do with me. Or you want while I was playing, or
Yeah, while you were playing, umping.
or as a fan, or just playing or umping.
Just anything in baseball.
I have different moments. I mean, as a player, my favorite moment was 1996. No, it was 1995. It was 1995. I was playing on that Sandlot team, St. Mary's, the Toros, and we were, it was just a bunch of kids that were fortunately, put together by chance. And,
I remember.
Yeah, I mean, because I met a kid through high school who said, "Hey, my dad's got a team, and I see, we were on the high school team together, and he was like, we're looking for some players. You want to come and try out?" And I was the last person. They already had a team. They needed one more person, and I went to the game. It was a scrimmage game, exhibition game with another team, and he said, "Well, what do you play?" And I said, "I pitch." And he was like, "Okay, you pitch it today." And the plan was that I was supposed to pitch like 2 innings and then get maybe one at bat and then sit down so that the rest of the team can play because he just wanted to see what I can do. I pitched the whole game. It was an exhibition game. I pitched the whole game. I had it was like a low scoring game, maybe 2-3 runs on our end, and then like they scored 1 run. And he was like, "You make the team." And that was like, because in high school I had to go through hell and high water because I don't physically look like a ball player. So for me to make the high school team, I had to put in harder work on the track and exercising and running, and because before we even got to me pitching or me playing third or me playing first or me even taking a swing, people were getting cut based off their athletic ability. And because I don't look like a ball player, I'm not tall. I'm not that way. I'm more this way. So I originally got cut freshman year off the team on that first tryout, and there was a lot of guys on that high school team that I played against, for a long time. And I remember the very second day of tryouts when I went to school that morning, I didn't see my name on the list. I was heartbroken. And the guys that were trying out that were on the team from the year before, actually some of the varsity members who knew me as well, because we had a cousin that was playing at the time. Steven Jacino was playing in high school at the time, and he was on the varsity team. So him and a bunch of the other guys all went to the coach for the JV team. It was like, how you cut this kid? You need to see him play. Like a bunch of people randomly were coming at him, and he allowed me to come back. And I already knew that he didn't like me or he didn't like my physical appearance. So I had to work harder than everybody else. And I eventually made the team. Freshman year, I kind of like, if you want to call it redshirted, I did nothing, just, like helped out varsity a lot. We only had a couple of JV games. And then the second year, it was me and one other guy, Anthony Pabone. We went down in history at Lehman High School as a no-hitter in that year against South Bronx High School. So,
Wow.
that was one of those moments where, like, when people doubted me. So as a player, when I was doubted a lot. But the moment that I made the team for the Toros was a great moment because it vindicated that complete strangers who didn't see me didn't see my appearance
Right.
actually saw my
Right.
ability to play the game, and I pitched the whole game and I hit. I had a couple of hits.
Yeah, that's one of my philosophies. That's one of the things that I love baseball. It's one of the things that I look and I see players. You could be 6'7", you could be 5'2". I mean, you could be 225 pounds, you could be 110 pounds. Size, shape, it really doesn't matter, man. It's the only game where it's based on the actual ability. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you look at some of these major league ball players and you're like, wow, this guy's 5'2". Holy smokes! But he can hit and he could run.
Altuve.
Yeah,
Look at
Altuve.
that
You know what
guy.
I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's if you really look at it, and this is one of the things that I talked to Brian Kenny about. Like Brian Kenny, I'm not a numbers guy. I always said you want numbers in baseball, go play Sudoku. You know what I mean? You can't measure a man's heart, but when they talk about numbers and you start looking at it, and you take the physical appearance out of the way, you take the look, and you put pure numbers on your board. You go, wow, this guy's a heck of a ball player. And they'll tell
Mm-hmm.
you, yeah, this guy's 110 pounds and he's 5'2". And you
Mm-hmm.
go, but he batted, 312 last year. Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and that was in AAA. And he stole 50 bases and he hit, you know, 40 home runs, and you're like, whoa. Had I seen him walking in the door, I'd be like, there's no way this guy's a ball player. But
Yeah.
it's one of those games that, hey, it's not like basketball. You have to be over 6 foot. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, there's those rarities and those incidences, but it's very few and far between.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on. Let's move on to favorite player or a favorite team. I know you have a lot of opinions on this one.
Well, my favorite player. That's easy. I mean, different eras. But if you want to talk about my all-time favorite player, Dwight Gooden. Dwight Gooden's always been my favorite player. When I was a kid, I used to mimic his wind up, his approach, his stare, his like demeanor, and I did that too. I did that all the way through high school. Like when I got on the mound, that was my mentality. Was like, I'm Dr. K. Like, I had more strikeouts in my lifetime than whoever I'm facing has hits. Because I
Mm,
did. In my mind, I did, and I actually probably did in life because I played such a early on. But when even at the age of 8, I remember playing in the minor leagues of our Castle Hill Little League where we grew up. And I remember being able to throw a strike right down the plate, and people were like, it's like batting practice. But at the age of 8, kids are not hitting the ball, and I'm
yeah.
throwing the ball like a pitching machine right down the plate. So I'm gonna strike you out on 3 pitches. You got 3 shots to get a hit. You're not walking,
Not walking.
and
Not
I
happening.
wasn't walking anybody. And then, um, so when I was 12 or 11, I was introduced to the Dwight Gooden 12-6 curveball. And I worked on that first with wiffle ball, then through a sponge ball. And then when I had made the All-Star team when I was 11, I said, let me just try it. And I remember because I didn't want to try it in the league because they used to have, oh, we don't want no kids to throw curveball, this and that. But I remember drawing in the All-Stars and all the coaches were like, holy shit. And they said, we can use this. And they did. And then we went back into our regular rec, if you want to call it now rec, right? Regular seasons and little league. I destroyed everybody. I destroyed everybody except for those that I worked out with, I practiced with. They knew it was coming because they saw it already hundreds of times that I would throw it at them. So, but Dwight Gooden was my guy, 100%. Dwight Gooden was
Okay.
my guy. And
Okay.
favorite team. So, favorite team has to be the New York Mets.
Wow.
Has to be the New York.
Wow.
Then, in a very close second, is the
I
Yankees.
thought that was going to be a real tough one for you.
No, because I've been explaining this one for quite a while. So I would say that it's definitely the New York Mets. The reason why I know that is because they have put me through more heartaches than the Yankees. The Yankees have won, right? But in '86, I was 6 years old. I was 7. I just turned 7 in that September, turning October, whatever. I mean, August or October. And so when the Mets won the World Series, I was 7 years old. I remember it. I remember it vaguely as during the playoffs, but the World Series against the Red Sox, I remember the games. I remember the sounds and, the announcers and the names of the players and, like the Red Sox players, like their names, like to this day, when I hear their names, I automatically, like Buckner, yeah, but like Jim Rice, Oil Can Boyd.
Boyd, yeah.
I mean, like, these guys' names, they come up, and I just think to myself, like, oh, that's the '86 team.
It's speaking of that, like every time I hear Mookie Wilson, I hear Mookie Wilson. Mookie just you hit. I see him hitting that ball and just
right.
Buckner just booting it, and it was just like it's wow. And you see the umpire, he's coming down the first baseline and he's just pointing. He's pointing. He's pointing. You know what I mean? It's just
Ray Knight running down third with his hands on the head, going like, "How did this happen?"
Yeah, that moment is something that's when you hear a player's name.
That's why I'm a Mets fan. That's why they stole my childhood favorite team was up for grabs because I had the Yankees, we had the Mets, but I was a baseball fan first. So
right.
I at that age, I remember at that young age, I used to go to we used to have that local sporting goods store, the Dugout. And I used to go to the Dugout on Castle Hill Avenue, and I used to buy a new hat every other week or whenever I had the chance. But I got a hat from a different ball team, and everybody, like in my room, I had all the teams. I had every team, and at the Yankees, I had the Mets, I had the Angels, I had the Dodgers. I had the Padres. I remember having the Padres, and I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to buy it, but I was like, at this point, I already had almost every team, so I was like, I gotta buy the Padres, and I bought because I didn't have anything brown to go with, and it was the Padres that had the one solid color in the back, and then the front right here had the logo in front.
Right.
So it was cool. It was different, but I love baseball.
Well,
because the Mets won in '86, they stole my heart.
Well, to interject in that, people who know the Rivera family in the Bronx, our dad Pablo Rivera Sr. He's the one that actually pushed us into the baseball. He's the one that was our big influence into baseball. And this is a man that you needed a school bag. He'd tell you, hey, carry your books. All right, it's not a big deal. Give you a shopping bag. I got an army bag in the garage. We'll get you an army bag. Dad, I need a blue glove. All right, let's go. Let's go get you some cleats. Let's go. So he would spend the $40-$50 on the
baseball.
On baseball. No question.
Baseball, absolutely.
No question.
But if I wanted a pair of sneakers, I wanted a jacket or something, it was always an argument. But if it was baseball related, not a problem.
I remember him buying me football cleats one year, and I was like, "What's going on?" He says, "Yeah, you buy one, you get one free, football cleats." And I'm like, "Football cleats?" He says, "Yeah, these are better cleats than the baseball because you're a catcher and you're always breaking them." And I was like, "What?" And I tell you, those football cleats, they did a heck of a job, man. They did a heck of a job.
He do, man. I remember I came home one time from school and I got on my bed, there was something there, and it was just him in the house. And I'm putting myself, what the hell is what's going on there? And I looked, and it was a brown bag, and it was the Franklin flip glasses.
Glasses, yeah.
And I thought, and I was probably around 10 years old, and I thought that that was the coolest thing in the world. Now I don't remember, they weren't that expensive. Like now, you know, like probably like $10 then, which, you know, $10, you know, in 1990, you know, but 10 or $20, whatever it was. But the fact that I didn't ask for it, and he had gotten it. I remember every year I would get a new glove, and I'd be like, what the, like, you know, like I like my glove. And
Yeah.
he would say, oh, well, this glove is for 2 years from now, because that way you
Yeah.
can use it when you get older.
You
Remember,
right.
I was 10 years old with a glove called the Bear. I played, it was called the Bear because my teammates called it the Bear because it was huge. So I played third base in the minors, and I stood there, and anybody that hit a ground ball to my left, well, I just stick on my glove, and I caught it. And then I just have to flip it over. But he had, oh, it was always baseball. That was always anything baseball related. He always covered.
I had a situation when I first got to the seniors, and I was like, wow, this field is huge. I was like, this field is so huge. And Dad said, listen, you're gonna hit today. Don't worry. I'm gonna take you. I'm gonna make sure you hit today. Okay, you're gonna hit. All right. Well, here comes Dad calling me over. I'm getting ready to bat. I think in the second inning, he says, hey, he gave me. Remember back in the day, they only had one batting glove in the
Oh
little
yeah,
pouch. It was one
yeah,
batting
yeah,
glove.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, oh, I
The
got
glove
the
hand.
left. I got the left and I got the right. And
Oh, yeah.
everybody was like, yo, you got both of them? Oh man, you balling. It was $8 a little glove, but I had both of them. I had the left and the right. I was forget it. And then I said, Dad, I got the left and right. He said, listen, then you use the left one to catch. You put that in the glove. Oh, that's right. He said, I hear like Gary Carter. He said, yeah, like Gary Carter. Go get him. I had a good day that day. I had a good day.
Yeah.
Do you have any situations or anything that you would like to go back and change? Anything that, you know, and if you did, like, what did you learn from it?
I will tell you that there was one situation that I would love to go back to. I was 13 years old. I was playing in the Castle Little League All-Star game. And this was the first time that I was actually playing on the big field, Throg's Neck, our rivals. And that day I was not playing. I didn't start, I should say. And I was a pitcher for the All-Star team. So I didn't start that day, which was fine. And later on, we got into a situation where we were up a couple of runs and decided they were going to switch out pitchers or whatever. So they had told me to warm up, and I was going to go in, and I was excited. It's like, wow, you know, when I turned around and looked in the stands, I didn't see any of our family. And I thought to myself, like, shit, this is a really big moment for me. And nobody was in the stands. I remember Dennis Wales, you know, a very close family member, was in the stands. That, you know, and of course other members of Castle Wrigley that I knew, but not blood related people. And I went into the game, and I walked 3 batters in a row. I'd never done that before up until that point. Like literally, everybody was just jaw dropped. And I remember our coach Jamie Rivera came out and put his hands on my shoulder, both my shoulders, and was like, breathe, like relax, everything's gonna be fine. And I basically, you know, was just like, I couldn't explain it. I just was staring at him like I was excited. It was a great moment because I wanted to play these guys. I grew up hating these guys, you know, because rivals or whatever.
Right, the rivalry, right.
And I pitched to the next batter and I walked him again. So I walked 4 batters in a row. And then the skies opened up and it poured. And we ran, they called it, you know, they told us to get off the field. We ran into the dugout and I went to grab my stuff. And when I turned around in the dugout, I turned around, our family friend, Dennis Wales, happened to come into the dugout and said, come with me. And we ran through the field. Instead of going through the side and all the way around, we ran right through the field, all the way to the concession stand. And we got in the car and he drove me to Albert Einstein Hospital and took me upstairs, and my mom's dad, grandpa, was in the hospital at the time. And then everybody, well, not everybody, but a bunch of the family was there in the room. And I had showed up in my uniform, and I went to go to his bedside to say goodbye because, you know, they were told that he was not going to live long.
Right.
And so we were all crammed up in that room. And I remember our brother Felipe grabbing me and saying that he was going to take me to his house because everybody had to start leaving. And I was supposed to come back. He was actually taking me home to change because I had the uniform on, and we were going to come back. And on the way back, mom had told him not to come back because they had stopped visiting hours or whatever. And I remember staying in his house, and that night, grandpa passed away. Interesting enough, a week later, I got to redeem myself. We were playing for the District 22 championship. And again, I didn't play the championship game. And then the last inning, I was asked to come in and save the game for us to win. I came in, I closed the game out. We won the District 22 championship. And once again, I had no family members there. And Dennis Wales took me in his car. We drove this time to the funeral home. And when we got out of the car, we went to the funeral home. I remember walking in my uniform. And there was a lot of people there. And I, was saying hi, but I walked through. I didn't stop. I just walked through. And I went all the way up to the casket. And I put the District 22 championship trophy right there. And I gave my grandfather a kiss on his hand, turned around, kissed grandma, and that was it. So that's the moment that I wish I had back, was that game with Throg's Neck, because obviously something wasn't right. I didn't know, you know what I mean? Obviously it was just like, the stars weren't lined up, and it rained, but
Right.
we were able to come back a week later actually, and we played for the championship. And so he's actually when the trophy was put in his casket, the trophy went with him. True story.
Right. That's a great story.
Yeah.
Now we're going to lead on to a little bit of a not modern day. For my fans out there who don't know, 2019, I had the honor to go to Cooperstown with my dad, my two brothers, and my son, and we wanted to see the first Rivera enshrined into the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
Of course,
amazing.
number 42, Mariano, 100% unanimous, hands down, all-star, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, for me, we could sit here all day and talk about Cooperstown, and we could be here for 10 hours. But I want you to describe, because when I see this picture, I'm at work and I have this picture.
Yeah.
I have this picture here. This is us in Cooperstown at the enshrinement. And describe to me Cooperstown and give me one word. Give me one word.
That's hard, man. One word. The only thing that comes to mind in one word is perseverance, man, because our trip to Cooperstown was, I can say that the day that Mariano pitched his last game, September 20, I think it was September 27, 2013, at Yankee Stadium, and me and Dad were there, and I said to Dad, when he goes in the hall, we're going to be there. And I pictured out how we would do this. But that was 6 years away. But prior to that, I mean, just us, our trip together, just just us guys being there, and it's baseball related. It's the one thing that we had that no matter what, no one can ever take away from us.
That's right.
And we found a way to get there. We made it happen. You had your life, you had your busy life, and you live in Florida. Our brother Pidiki in the city, Dad, retired life, and me living out in Jersey, running restaurants, and I don't even have time for my own family, at that time. I really didn't. And I remember having to convince the family that for me to go to Cooperstown, I'll take them to Disney. I did 2 weeks later. But that's how important Cooperstown was to me. So perseverance, man, because we pushed for it so much. But when I see that picture, it's just so much emotions that go through me. Like you had said, you have it in your. I have it in my room. I have it as a screensaver. I wake up every day. I see it every day, and I just sometimes I say to myself, how did that happen? How did it all like the motivation that I had for that is not something that comes every day, but it's coming again.
Oh yeah, it's
Coming
going
again.
again. So we're gonna give everybody a glimpse one day. Um, the the um, the glimpse into it is going to be, all right, everybody ready? If you build it, they will come, and we will. Anyway, we're gonna move on because for me, Cooperstown was it was just like my wedding. The song "Amazed,"
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it was. I sat there and there was times that I just sat back and I was just like, wow, I'm really here, or wow, I'm really in front of Pete Rose, or wow, I got to talk to Tony Perez. Like, I actually have a good conversation with Chris Chambliss, and I had a good story with him. So for me, I look back and I'm like, for me, the word is just amazed. I'm amazed that we were there. We
I
all,
was actually not to cut you off, but I was for me, our Cooperstown, I had my moment was the Saturday before the induction, and we were on the corner in front of the store that we had gotten some autographs from. We had just gotten together, me, you, Dad, and Mitchell, and it was your reaction. It was how you reacted because I'm I'm at the point in my life at that time where for me, I had to specifically find what was going to be my Yahoo moment. Obviously the most incredible moment would be for me to just walk around and bump into Mariano or something like that. You know what I mean? That would have been the Yahoo moment. But um, I'm sitting there watching you and watching your excitement, and I was like, holy shit! Like that was pure joy, and that was for me. That was rewarding enough. Just being there to have that moment. You looking at in my view, my eyes. I'm looking at three faces that are very similar. I'm looking at my dad. I'm looking at my brother. I'm looking at my nephew, and we're all sharing that moment. And no one can take that away from us, no matter what.
yeah,
Man.
the
And
moment
that whole day
it
was
was
amazing.
it was an amazing day.
Amazing.
That moment he's talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is it's me running up and down Cooperstown Street there, and I was like a 14-year-old girl with a brand new iPhone. I was like, this is this player. Oh my God, this guy's. Oh my God, this is this guy over here. And I had Hall of Fame baseballs, and I was having them autographed, and I was talking to them, and I was in awe, and it was an amazing moment for me. And I thank you. I thank you for making that happen for us, because he was our planner. He was that guy with the little flag had it, and he was like, "Come on, follow us. We're going down over here." And he did it. He did it for us.
I wanted us to have an amazing weekend. I wanted us to be involved, or at least have the opportunity to do things, be some places. We were supposed to do a couple of things that we didn't get a chance to do,
Right.
but we had the opportunity to do them. I think there was a festival right after the actual induction.
Enshrinement. Right.
Yeah, enshrinement. There was a festival that there was going to be some singers and performers or whatever, and celebrities or whatever. And we had the opportunity to go. We had the tickets and everything, but we were tired. And it was like, you know what? But I wanted us to have that. We had the opportunity to see them the day after for that the private conversation with the players, and it was truly a VIP trip. It really was.
It was. It was.
If you're gonna do it big, or don't do it at all.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's so worth it, man, because we had that moment, and now we live the rest of our lives and go back to that moment, and it brings us. I don't know about you. It brings me comfort. It brings me peace that we were able to do it, and we have that. You know, no matter where we go. I mean, we can always talk about Cooperstown, and we just say the word Cooperstown, and it automatically sparks up things.
It comes right up, right? All right, then let's move on from that. The game, you know, like we've watched baseball games together. We've been watching baseball. You've been watching baseball since you were T-ball. I've been watching baseball all my life. The game? What do you think has changed? And like what is it today that it's either made it better or worse?
I think. Well, I wouldn't say it's worse. I just think that the game has changed for um, the culture that's of now. Because when we were kids, you know, the game was it was set in stone. And these are the rules. This is how the game is to be played, and you played it that way, and you taught others. You taught the next generation. That's how the rules are from this era.
Yeah, the unwritten
And
rules.
the unwritten rules, right? And so now, you know, obviously, you know, let's just say that the last year with COVID and everything changing those rules, you know, let's just say the last 10 years of the game has changed to accommodate the watcher, not even the fan. They want new watchers. They want new people to come in. They're trying to, you know, it's a business. But for me, it's not. It's not a business. It's a life, you know. So the fact that, you know, like tradition is being changed is what how I feel that the game is. It's just they're changing tradition. That's all to accommodate the future.
Right. I feel the unwritten rules there. The no bunting in a no hitter.
Exactly.
The
Do it.
third strike on third out at third base. You know,
Yeah.
some of these things you're just like, you're like, what are you doing? There's no respect for the unwritten rules. But I mean, in this day, like I said, with the modernization of the numbers, everything is a number game. Everything is a, you know, let's look at the stats. Let's look at this WAR and WHIP and what's the other one? There's like 10 million of them out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like it's like you're like, what the heck is going on?
You know, it's funny. You know, it's funny you mentioned that. They say that all this statisticians and all this analytical information was kind of they piggybacked that off of the movie Moneyball. You know,
Right.
This is what worked for Oakland, right? And everybody was like, "Wow, this is a great thing." How many World Series has Oakland won?
You got a point.
I'm just, you know, because if they're gonna, you know, that was the whole point of, you really think back on it. They made a movie about it. Baseball backed him, called him, you know, the golden child for saving money for the A's and he made the owners money. Good job.
Yeah, great job.
But did you win?
Did you win?
You were contenders. I get that, you were contenders, but did you win?
Yeah.
Because they were thinking of a different way.
Yeah.
And it got picked up. So
this is one of my favorite points in the movie is when the manager comes up and he tells him, I want to negotiate my contract. And he goes, well, you know, he goes, as soon as I get a team together, I'll negotiate your contract. He says, well, I can't work under a 1-year contract. He goes, let me get a team and then we'll take a good hard look at it. And he says, you know, this is kind of hard to take for a manager who won 125 games. And he said, listen, if you lose the last one, the other 125 don't mean anything. So it doesn't matter. So it's just like, you're like, you know what? That makes all the sense in the world, you know? All right. So I'm going to give you my curveball question is Cracker Jacks or sunflower seeds? You understand? Seeds.
Oh, wait. As a player, As a player, seeds, 100%. As a fan, Cracker Jacks. As a fan, Cracker Jacks. Absolutely.
Now here's the other curveball on that one. Sunflower seeds. I'm sure you've seen all these seed companies, the Spits and what else is out there? Bigs and I can't think of the other one. But the flavors that are coming out with. If you can make a flavor, since you're a chef and you're big into flavors, what flavor would you come out with?
That's a good one. I would tell you it's probably something that I can tolerate. You know, for obviously, like I tried all these other ones like hot sauce, pickles, ranch. You know, the potato chip flavors, all that they try. I would like to do something a little bit different. Probably something more in the lines of like I was just thinking about it earlier. As far as like, because I see pizza flavored, which is weird. All right, you taste the like dried marinara flavored, which is really weird.
I had the
Uh,
dill one, dill
the
pickle,
dill one, dill.
dill
I've
pickle.
had the
That was
dill.
that was
I
that
would
was a
say
little funky.
uh, I would probably go something sweet. You know, like a banana foster, something totally different. You know what I mean? Like
Wow. Yeah,
something
that's
that's like sweet and a little bit of alcohol flavorish in there.
okay.
But like,
All
yeah,
right.
banana fosters, man, that'd be different. Why
That'd
not?
be different. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure the seed company would take a look at that. That'd be interesting, right? Oh man, that's funny. That's
Yeah,
funny.
chocolate
Well,
seeds. Right?
um, throw a little advertisement in there. As everybody knows, I work for the Postal Service, and just the other day we got the
Wow.
Major League Baseball All Star Yogi Berra stamps in. So if you're at your local post
Wow.
office and you need some stamps, do yourself a favor, pick you up a nice little sheet from the United States Postal Service of the Yogi Berra stamps. There are going to be some other stamps coming down the line. We still haven't got anything. And I'd like to thank you, my brother,
Thank you.
literally my brother, and
Yeah, right.
my chef. Now you're working. Where are you working at now? Where are you working at now?
I work at Taqueria in
Okay.
Paramus, New Jersey.
Okay.
We street food, street Mexican food.
Okay.
That's
And
what we do.
hey, folks, if you're out in Paramus, New Jersey, go visit my brother Pablo at the Taqueria. It's some really really good food. I had the El Pastores
Yeah.
tacos.
Yeah.
Oh man, excellent. They have some good juices that they mix in the house, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some
some
agua
good
frescas
juices.
that we make. Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I
Yeah.
knew you said something about coming out with some plant-based. You had some plant-based meats.
Yeah. So we have some. We have what's called taco rizo. It's kind of
Okay.
like a chorizo style, but it's actually plant-based meat.
Okay.
And it's a substitute for that. So we do a lot of vegan, vegetarian, a lot of gluten-free, dairy-free. We a lot of different allergies that we're able to take care of. So very modern, with great flavor, man. The food speaks for itself. So you guys down close to, we actually have a couple of locations in Jersey. So we have some other locations, but I'm in the Paramus location. But yeah, Taqueria all over Jersey soon.
Okay. Well, there you go, folks. Thanks for staying with us today. Stay tuned. Remember, if you like this, subscribe. Do me a favor, subscribe, like it, and hit my brother up at the Taqueria, and you'll get the family discount, which is 0. So go say hi. Go say hi to him, and enjoy some really great food. Anyway, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I love you, man.
Love you too.
And
Love you too,
I'll
man.
see you. I'll see you.
All right. Take care, brother.